Hey there, Johnny Daniel, your Stampin' Up! Independent Demonstrator. Hey, I got in the mail today, well, I should say first, the fabulous sayings. This is the product of the month, and the sayings on it are happy birthday, you're on my mind, thank you, sending love, hello, you can do anything so much, hooray, to a fabulous friend just because, and there are simply no words for this. So really cool stamp set. This is the product of the month. So any order 75 or more, you can pick this for $5, and this is through January. So just a FYI, really quick thing. So then also I got this Lots to Love kit. Now I got a couple extras because I figured you might want to make your own cards. I know, right? So I'm going to make some. So if you want to buy them, you can at the farmer's market on Saturday. But if you don't want to buy them, I'm going to show you the kit. And the entire kit is $18. It makes, I believe it's 9 cards. I'll double check with you in just a second. And everything's included in the kit. There's no ink, so it's easy. And comes with the box and everything. Comes with the gems, the dimensionals, all the adhesive, everything you need is all included. Okay? So we've got our glue dots, which personally I don't care for these, so we're going to put those to the side, but you can definitely use them. So we've got textured envelopes. So let's see how many envelopes we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was right. So we've got that. We've got 3 card bases. We've got some foam adhesive. Let's get that up there. We've got 3 more card bases. 2 and 3, and we should have 3 more to make 9, right? We got some punch outs. Here's the other 3. Okay. And then we've got some words. You got to pick the right language, of course, right? So there's that. We've got some other punch outs. Hopefully there's no color. So I guess there's enough color with everything else. So I'm just going to put aside. We got flowers. We've got more punch outs. Oh my gosh. This is why I have a big table. And then we've got more punch outs or fronts. So we've got some chipboard. That's going to go to the side. And then we've got our instructions. This is what the cards are supposed to look like. And if you flip it over, here's all the pieces you should have. Contains supplies for 9 cards, 9 envelopes. So that's why I count the bases and the envelopes first, just to make sure. Have I ever had any mistakes? Once, I think, in like 15 years that they've been doing the kits. So this July will be 20 years for me with Stampin' Up. But yeah, the kits have been about 15 years, I want to say. And yeah, I haven't had a lot of problems, we'll just say. And they fix them really quick if I do. So as long as you realize it before it goes out of circulation, which, well, if you're not doing that, you know. So we've got all our pieces and parts that belong. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this sample and I'm going to make one of each so you can see them, and we will get going. All right, so for the very first one, that's the 4 one. So we've got our base here. This is our 4. What I mean by that is our 1, 2, 3, 4 little windows. There's the 3 windows and there's the 1 window, so you could tell the difference between them, right? So we got our 4 window. I usually leave it flat. I don't leave it folded because otherwise it bounces on you, right? So we've got that. And then let's see, we've got little flowers that go and little stems that go. And well, we got to get started, right? So let's do this. And those look too big. Oh, there's little ones down here. Okay. So we've got little guys down here. Are those the ones that match? This is when you go to the detailed stuff and you go, oh, we're making the one with 4, right? So we got to have the flowers. So we got to have the flowers and the hello and some gems. Okay. So I love the instructions. Makes life easy, but no leaves. So there you go. All right. So flowers. So we've got 2 of the 2 and 1 of the 3 petals, just like it's in the picture. So we're gonna do the 2 and we're gonna do the 3. Okay. And then I'm gonna put this aside, and then we have the hello. So hello dear friend is the one we're gonna pick. You could pick whatever you want, but I gotta pick something, right? So I'm gonna follow the directions as best as I can. And then we're gonna grab our 4 front one, and that is gonna go like this or like this, depending on how it looks for you. So I'm gonna do this, and this probably has this one. So we're gonna flip this over. Not sure why I flipped it over, but here we are. And then we're gonna stick this down here. Okay. And we're gonna stick this down here. Am I doing this right? Yep. Okay. And then we're gonna stick, and we're gonna stick on all 4 sides is what the instructions say. I don't know if I would do all 4 sides normally, but that is what the instructions say. So I'm trying to follow along. Okay. So what you're gonna do is peel these guys off, peel these guys off, peel these guys off. Why do you peel them off? So they stick, right? So hopefully center it over. Hard to see a little bit when you can't lean over. So I'm gonna say we're good. Okay. And then for the flowers, we're gonna do the mini dimensionals, which are these little guys. And I'm gonna flip all these over. You can kind of tell that there's a front and a back because it's just more elaborate, I guess you would say. That's how I'm going to explain it. Not certain that's correct, but that's how I'm going to say it. So we're going to put that down there. Okay. And we're going to peel the backs of these guys off. Now, if you don't want them popped up, you can use the glue dots instead, which is probably what you're supposed to do, but I'll be honest with you. I tend to like a lot more texture and depth than what they tell you to do. So forgive me for not following directions completely. If you've been with me for a while, you already know that that's kind of what I do, is I figure out what to do and then do it different. Go figure, right? So we're gonna put a couple of these on the back of here. Peel this off. And then this goes in the middle. I don't know if I'd put it down here instead, but for the first one, we're gonna do as told. All right, and then these guys are gonna go on the flowers. So we're gonna put a bigger one. Probably should have been on the bigger flower, but hey, okay. And then we're gonna put on the littler one. I kind of don't like that bigger one, but lessons learned, right? So we got all these little guys. If you need a tweezer or any other pick tool to get these on, feel free. I've been doing this a minute, if you can't tell. So we're gonna throw all these in the center like it says. And then come on. And then lastly, that one. So we have our first card. This is our first one. Cute, right? I hope. Cute. Cute. Okay. Hopefully I got your approval. All right, and then the second card we're gonna do is that 3 one. So we're gonna grab our leaves, maybe, and I'm not gonna fold it, so that way it goes, right? And then we're gonna grab our 3. Okay. And then we're gonna grab, I got pieces and parts all over the place. We're gonna grab these guys. And these are gonna go, I'm just gonna go here and here. If you wanna go all the way around, you can, but I'm looking at the directions and I'm like, I don't know. So we're gonna go here, we're gonna stick this down here. Okay, now I think we have the pink, all that to match. I think that's what we're doing, and I probably shouldn't have put that down first. Here's what we call live and learn, right? Yep, that's how it goes around here for me, at least. Usually what I make, it's like, oh, that was a mistake. Oh, but that's a what is it, Bob Ross? Happy accident, right? So we're gonna grab here, and then this is the glue dots. Yeah, we'll see if we could just stick it down in there. It'll be fine. So we're gonna grab a glue dot. This is where you would use those 2 face things that I decided to toss. So it looks like we got that right there. Ooh. And I guess I'm gonna stick it to the inside of this because I didn't realize. So, okay, no problem. Live and learn, right? And then I'm gonna stick one on the leaf so I don't have things flying around in my envelope. Get it unstuck from my finger, let it lay where it naturally is gonna lay, and then stick it down. Okay, then I'm gonna grab my green one. And I think that's Peacock. Oh, what's the name of that? Pretty Peacock is that color. So I'm just gonna stick this down here till it kind of lines up and stick it in there. May not be how the directions say, but I'm not exactly taking a ton of time to look at the directions now, am I? Yeah, welcome to How I Do Kits. So I also picked up the Adopt a Pet kit, which is super duper cute. And that's 18 as well, and you have like a kitty and a dog and a little fenced area and adoption papers. It's super cute. So if you want some DIY stuff to do with your kids or just yourself, feel free to stop by the booth, or if you can't stop by the booth, just message me, let me know. We'll get it to you either way. So we're gonna try to get this, and then we're gonna glue this top one down. Doesn't matter to me if there's a couple that are loose, but I don't want the whole thing just flopping around. So we're gonna throw that one down. And then this one has So Excited For You. So we're gonna do So Excited For You. And I bet the last one is Thanks. So I think I'm gonna punch that while I have it here, because all the rest are either French or German. So we're just gonna make it easy and do it quick. And then I'm gonna grab my mini Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm gonna grab 3 since this is a long one, and stick them down on there. And then we're gonna peel the backs off, at least in theory. If you ever have trouble with them, you can always poke it with a poker tool or grab in the middle and dent it, as it were. So there's that. That works for me. You can also put it lower here. But like I said, I'm trying to follow the directions. So, okay. Doesn't say there's any gems to it. So that's the second one. And then last but not least is the 3 one. Or the single one rather. We just did the 3 one. So the single one looks like it has a lot of parts. Uh-oh. So I'm going to start with putting this thing down. All right, so this one, let's see here. What does it say to do? Well, I'm gonna start here now that I put stuff down, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then glue it down, and all these pieces go with that. So it looks like we got the small leaves and the flowers. Small leaves and the flowers, that, okay, gotcha. Woo! All right, so it looks like we glue this down first and then kind of put through into the corners, as it were. So I'm gonna glue this down first. That might be a mistake, but we're gonna run with it. We're just gonna run. So, all right, so now I need this orange flower, this pink flower, the little purple lavender looking ones. Let's see, a single leaf, a double leaf. God, it sounds like a jungle song. Awi moa, awi moa. Okay, got it, done now. And then there's my other double leaf. I'm looking at what else I need, and then the thanks. So I think we're good. All right, so I'm gonna look for my glue dots here, and I'm gonna get my leaves tacked into there. So my single leaf, make sure to get the right side glued down. So my single leaf is gonna go over my single leaf to give some dimension. I am just kind of doing loosely, so feel free to go exactly on top if you want, but if you've met me, you already know I don't do exact very well. So we're gonna go here, because that's what the instructions say. And then we're gonna go, maybe, we're gonna go here, and I'm gonna stick here. And then this goes here because the orange flower covers most of that. So we're gonna start with the big guy. I almost like the back of it too, but I'm trying to behave. Oh, I just shot that across the room. I don't know where that went. I will find it later, I'm sure. I did that the other day and I was doing the project and I was like, oh, that's where that went. So yeah, you just never know. So, all right, so to give this some depth, we're putting this over top. And then I'm gonna grab my pink flower and we're gonna put this one over top, it looks like, and put the other one over top. And it'll be super cute. And if you don't want to put it over top, you don't have to. But it does give it quite a bit of dimension. Now I gotta figure out where that other glue dot shot off to. It's just never dull, is it? So, all right, so we're gonna stick this down here. Okay, and then the thanks go somewhere on here. Let's get our little dimensional guys. Where'd that glue dot go? I wonder. So I will find it eventually. I'm grateful I don't have the dog anymore, because half the time he would step on them and then he'd be doing this. And I'm like, what's your problem? And he'd be complaining that they were stuck on his toes. So that happened more often than I care to remark about. We'll just say that. I do miss him, but I do not miss all the work that goes into having a persnickety dog. So he was sweet, but he was persnickety. So, all right, so we're gonna grab there, and then we're gonna fold this because this is now done. Okay, so here's that one in detail. Cool, right? So there's that one. There's that one. And then we've got lastly, or first, that one. So those are the 3 cards, the 3 designs that we have for this kit. And like I said, I've got 2 extras that I'll bring on Saturday, or if you message me, you can have them. But they're $18, and then if you need them shipped, they're an additional $5. So thanks so much for joining me. Message me if you need, and follow me for more, stampinwithjohnny.com. See you Saturday. Bye-bye.